Hey everyone, today we'll be taking a look at the all-new Guoguan TSM 2x2. I was really surprised to hear that Guoguan was making a new 2x2. I feel like it's been quite some time since we've actually heard anything from them, so I was pretty excited to see not only that, but what really had me excited was the fact that this new 2x2 features a industry first technology, which is actually size adjustment. So using this tool, you can actually adjust the size of this 2x2 to 3 different sizes, which is TSM, 3 size magnetic. And yeah, I'm really excited to give this a shot. So this can go between 50 millimeters to 50.75 to 51.5 millimeters. And I mean, in cubing, that's pretty notable. I mean, it's a pretty good difference. So right now we're starting off at the 50 millimeter size, which is pretty standard for 2x2s nowadays. Let's go ahead and see how this feels before we do any size changes and see if the size changes actually change the performance at all, because that's gonna be my biggest thing I'm looking to experiment with. Wow. I was not expecting this to be like this insanely smooth. I mean, this cube is borderline silent. So I guess that when they said that this has like a smoother control, I mean, they weren't kidding. These like grooves in the pieces right here are really pronounced, and I guess that's what's contributing to this, but I mean, this is probably like the smoothest and most quiet 2x2 I've used in a really long time. Corner cutting was advertised at 55 degrees, which I have no trouble believing. It's a little tougher out of the box, but I'm gonna attribute that to a lack of setup. The magnets actually feel a lot stronger than I was expecting. They are definitely still moderate, but something about the cube itself just feels really stout. Like, it just feels very, like, confidence inspiring when you're turning it. It's a very different feeling. It's taking kind of a lot of getting used to, so I do think that this would benefit from a bigger size, so let's give it a shot. This tool is used to pry off a corner cap, so you're gonna tell this is gonna be good. Oh man, all right, let's see. Okay. So I mean, it's flexible. I feel like that I'm missing something here. Okay, so I guess you just kind of have to put a little bit of pressure to make sure you're really gripping the corner cap. So here is the new mechanism. This is what controls the size adjustment. It's very similar to the GTS 3M's spring adjustment. So you can just do counterclockwise turns, which moves this piece out, which when you put the corner cap back on, will in turn make it be farther out. So it's interesting how it's a very simple concept and it just hasn't been executed by anybody yet. I think that was it for the box, yeah. So I was wondering if there was maybe like another tool to do this. I mean, it is really easy to do by hand, but Moyu tends to be pretty like tool heavy, so I was a little bit surprised. So I'm gonna go ahead and move up to the 50.75 millimeter size and see how that affects the feel, and we'll go from there. Okay, so I am now at the 50.75 millimeter setting, and you can see that the gaps in the pieces are now here. I definitely like this a lot more than the 50 millimeter. I really don't feel like this 2x2 is as good on the smaller size setting. The magnets do feel slightly stronger as well on the larger setting, and I did find that when you were applying the corner caps, it's a little bit tedious because you have to be really careful to make sure that the center part right here is making its way in. And regarding using this tool, it just kind of takes some getting used to, but as I was going through the process, I was getting better at it. So it's just kind of a new technology, like I mentioned, so it takes a little bit of getting used to, but I do find that once you get the corner attachment piece on, I just kind of use all 3 of my fingers to like grip it, and then pulls off pretty easily. So I'm gonna go ahead and try the 3rd and final size, which is 51.5 millimeters. So we'll see how that feels. Okay, we are done going to the 51.5 millimeter size. And I definitely have some opinions of this cube the more I've messed with it. While I don't really mind the gaps, it is a little weird that seeing a cube with this large of gaps between the pieces, it won't affect the turning because the contact surface stays consistent, and the only thing that is moved out is the cap. So it won't affect like your lubing or anything like that. But the bigger the cube gets in size, it just feels less, not stable in terms of performance, but like I just feel like these corner caps are gonna pop off. And I know that they're not, because I mean, they're in there, but it's just, I don't know, it's a very foreign feel. So it's just taking kind of like getting used to. Honestly, I mean, it is pretty easy to adjust the sizes, but it's like anything with like adjustable magnets as well. Once you find your ideal size, I find it very unlikely that you're gonna be just switching the sizes kind of like every day on the fly. I mean, you're gonna find what works best for you and go from there. I would say that the benefit is that the 51.5 millimeter size is uncommon. So if you're looking for a slightly bigger 2x2, this is now a great way to get that. And same for the 50.75. But honestly, I mean, the turning is really smooth. I like that. I like the overall feel, but there's just something about the Shingen TSM that isn't exactly blowing me away. It's a really great cube. For $15, you can't go wrong. I'm sure it's gonna grow on me the more I set it up, but right now it's nice and it's cool that it has innovative technology in it. But I just think that as time goes on, this technology might become more advanced, a little bit easier and faster to use, and it'll have less compromises. So ultimately, I'm gonna kind of leave my thoughts on the TSM open-ended right now because I want to spend some more time with the cube to see exactly how I feel about it. But other than that, I'm curious to know what you guys think. Are you excited for this new technology? Does it not really matter to you? Is the fact that this only comes in black plastic a deterrent? Or are you willing to switch to black plastic from stickerless to get this new size options? Let me know in the comment section down below. I'm really curious to hear your thoughts. I hope you all enjoyed this video, and I'll see you on the next one.